Thank you very much for joining me, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnaw, Union Railways and Information and Broadcasting and IT Minister. Ashwini Vaishnaw ji, you worked for a long time in the Prime Minister's team. He's the captain, you are the batsman. How do you recall your interactions with the Prime Minister?
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, he has given us a totally new way of working. He always tells us that mind is important, but mindset is very important, which means can you solve problems, can you have a forward-looking view, can you look at things from a multiple perspectives. It's very important for us to change the way we work. Second, he's a very intent listener. I'm sure you would have also seen it. Every small detail that we present, he would carefully listen, ask questions, make sure that the opinion of every person in the room is taken, mull over the entire subject and then take a call. It's very important because we are a very diverse country. Our problems are very complex. So very important that we have a leader who is thinking through each and everything, who's considering every opinion and then taking a long-term view at things. So that's a big learning for many of us who have worked with him.
Mr. Ashwini Vaishnaw, Vande Bharat has been a dream for him, for this country, and a major achievement. You worked with him as Railways Minister in realizing that dream. How important is modernization, convenience for common citizens, the price factor for a man like Narendra Modi? Does he get into the minutiae, the details of working, and how much is technological advancement something that drives him?
You are absolutely right. Our Prime Minister goes into deep details. He is a very detail-oriented person. If you take a half-baked proposal to him, I'm sure you are not going to get things done. You must have thought through every aspect before you go to him. It's a lot of preparation has to be done before you go to him. And because he loves to go into details, he gets into deep technical discussions, and each time he will ask, how does it make a difference in the common citizen's life? For example, when we go with new technologies, he'll say, will this make a fundamental difference in the lives of the people living in the rural areas, in the smaller cities, the middle class families? That way, one learns to orient everything, every work, every part of the work towards the upliftment of our citizens. For example, we have a new generation train for the lowest income people. We have new generation trains for middle income people. We have new generation technologies for making railways safer now. All this was possible because our Prime Minister inspired us to think for the common citizen, for the family, which is the fulcrum of our society.
Is he a hard taskmaster, Mr. Vaishnav? Do ministers and your colleagues actually, sometimes wince with the kind of expectation in terms of output that he expects from each one of you?
Absolutely. He always sets very large, very big targets, very tall goals. And that's very important because if you look at since 1947, we have had so many prime ministers. Not a single one of them gave us the goal of developing, for taking our country to a developed status, and that too with a timeline. By 2047, we have to be a Viksit Bharat. Now, having that kind of goal requires that we work very hard now. We achieve the foundation, we build the foundation, which is a very strong foundation we must build. And for that, we have to really work to the expectations of our people. And that is what is reflected in Prime Minister's goal setting.
And your semiconductor dream, it's something that the Prime Minister has been extremely, extremely relentless on, because COVID taught us that the supply chains can never be taken for granted. On that, can you recall the number of meetings and what was his basic tone and tenor in those meetings? What was his end goal as far as the semiconductor sector is concerned?
That's very important, Navika ji. And see, when we want to take a country to a developed country status and we want our country to be recognized in the world as a country which matters so much, then we must have mastery over certain technologies, telecom technologies, semiconductors, AI, defense technologies, train sets, defense large machines. These are some of the technologies that biotech is also one of them. These are the technologies that we must have a mastery. That's what our Prime Minister gave us a very clear way forward, that when we talk of semiconductor, we must definitely manufacture chips, but we must also manufacture the equipment which is used to manufacture chips and the materials which go into manufacturing chips. So that means the complete ecosystem must be developed in a country. I recall when we sought his time for the first time on semiconductor in 2021, we sought a time of 45 minutes. He actually gave us 2.5 hours that day. Even look at the recent Semicon conference. Prime Minister visited the Semicon twice, and the amount of time that he invested in understanding and talking to each and every technology leader, it's phenomenal. The tech leaders were so impressed. They were saying that when the leader of the country is investing so much time and effort in developing such a crucial industry, the country is definitely going to be a major semiconductor nation going forward. So that kind of approach has energized the entire team working in the government, working on the industry side, in the academia. Everybody is energized about it. And just yesterday, Navika ji, ARM opened a center in Bangalore, a global capability center, where world's most modern 2-nanometer chips are going to be designed.
Fantastic. But Mr. Vaishnav, you've been a bureaucrat and now you've been on the political side. You've been a minister. You've been somebody who's handled elections in states. I want to ask you, can you give us a ringside view of your takeaways of the differences and the similarities between Vajpayee ji, in whose office you served as a bureaucrat, and Prime Minister Modi, with whom you work as a team member, as somebody who's handling the most crucial aspects of policy making?
Times are very different. The times now are times when India is a very large economy, a very fast, rapidly growing economy. The times then were very different. The politics has changed, social aspirations have changed, technology has changed, so many things have changed, and for these times we have absolutely the right leadership that the country needs. And another point which has fundamentally changed the way we work, all of us, is that Prime Minister has put nation first, always first, as a primary mantra, whether it is policy making at home or policy making outside, whether it is technology sector or a social justice sector. Everywhere these things, and that is one of the common features between the two leaders, between Vajpayee ji and Modi ji. Both of them have given a lot of confidence to the country. When Vajpayee ji developed the highway program, that after many generations, country saw a large program being executed in our country, and that gave tremendous confidence to the young people at that point of time. And today, Honorable Modi ji, when he takes up Chandrayaan, when he takes up semiconductors, when he takes up defense manufacturing, it's fundamentally changing the way we are seen by the outside world and the way we see ourselves.
Do you want to recall any special personal anecdote that you've shared with him, which has maybe been a big learning for you, Mr. Vaishnav?
There are so many instances where the thought process with which I went to him, got totally changed after the interaction. And that's, for example, let's say AI safety and AI regulations. PM said that this is a high-tech world. A world of such high technology cannot be ruled simply by, cannot be governed simply by passing a law. So think of technical solutions. So then we came up with this techno-legal approach towards AI safety. And today the world recognizes that as a very unique way of thinking, very different from, let's say, Europe, which basically looks at a law and then, and it doesn't work. It's a very tech-oriented world in which solutions have to be thought of in a very different way. There are so many such incidents where, for example, during Maharashtra elections, Prime Minister gave us a very clear mandate that we must make sure that BJP votes are transferred to the partners, and that must be the topmost priority. Now, it's a profound insight into the way elections should be conducted. So, each and every time when you work with him, you learn so much and you learn to think in a different way.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnaw. Yes, times have changed. The times now are the times of, reaching very high as in the quest for excellence and benefits for our citizens, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading the way is the message that I take away from your experiences with him. Thank you very much, Mr. Vaishnaw, for joining me.